What's going on YouTube? This is your boy Nelson and welcome back to Sounds Digi, guys. I have a nice video for you guys in store. Today's not really a tutorial, but it's more so like of information in terms of the things that you'll need to get started with your own independent home studio setup. So with that being said, this video is about the 8 must-haves that you must have to kick off your home studio on a budget. So with that being said, let's get started, guys. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to press the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every single time I upload a new video or a new song. Let's get started. So guys, I get this question often. What are the tools that I need to set up my home studio correctly? What are the must-haves? What should I do? What kind of microphone? What kind of headphones? So what I did was just sort of like as an overview, I wanted to go ahead and just kind of give you a run through of the things, basic things that you'll need to get started. That way, you literally can hit the ground running and you can already start planning the budget in terms of what you would like to have in your home studio. So here we go. The first thing, obviously, guys, you need a computer. Without the computer, it's like the brain of the operation. You can't get your ideas out. And you can't really articulate and record anything. You need a computer, right? So yeah, we have the PCs. PCs are great, and they serve their own purpose, but for music, preferably for music professionals, it's most common that they're using Apple computers. It seems like, from my own experiences, I learned very quickly that it's a lot more adaptable to Apple computers. Any DAW, digital audio workstation that I use is more easier to use with an Apple computer, and it's a lot more user friendly as well. So I definitely recommend either a MacBook Pro or I recommend getting a desktop for your Mac. So without this, there's really no point in going through anything else in terms of what you would need. So definitely consider your options. This could be the most expensive purchase, I would say, because yeah, any computer obviously is not cheap, and you want to really carefully choose the type of computer, memory, RAM, the way that's healthy for the types of programs that you're going to be running in your digital audio workstation. So definitely a Mac computer for this option. Number 2, speakers. Speakers are very important. You definitely want to have speakers that really give the opportunity to help you hear your sound, hear your voice very clearly. I have experience using 2 different speakers. First speakers I have experience with are the Yamaha HS5s, and then also the Roccat 5s as well. So the differences between the two are very distinct. Both of them sound great overall, but what I noticed with the Rockets, for example, they have more of a bassy sound, and just kind of gives you an overall feeling of how it sounds and feels, like it's gonna sound in the club or at an event or anywhere on the radio, for example. So I think these are really great speakers to have in regards to that. However, I have to say the HS5s for me, and these are the ones I own, and I'm not being biased, I have experience using both of them. I feel like the HS5s from Yamaha are much better because I feel like it really gives me the truth in terms of what I'm hearing in that moment. And it really, when it comes to mixing, you can hear every little detail, every little speck of sound, and it kind of shows you more so the colors in terms of your voice and the ideas that you're laying out. So it tells you the truth. These are the speakers that I say they'll never lie. So, but I have the HS5s here, but I also have a subwoofer as well. So if I want to have more of the bassy experience that the Rockets, for example, give, then I can kind of capture that as well. But I always usually keep the subwoofer very low and focus more on the HS5s in my direction, in my ears, because then I can really hear everything clear. And so this is very helpful for mixing. This is very helpful for just really getting the sound where you want it at the end of the mix. So, okay. So next one, audio interface. Audio interface is extremely important as well. Basically, this is like what connects your microphone, your instruments, to your computer, and it processes the sound for you. So it's called the audio interface, and there's a few different models. I won't go through a bunch of the models. I'm just gonna go ahead and just tell you the one that I'm using. Originally, I wanted something small in case I wanted to kind of like pick up and go and vibe out on my MacBook Pro. So I have like this plug and play sort of experience. So what I'm currently using right now is the Steinberg UR22s. These are great investment. It's not expensive. For like $130, you can get one, and it literally is like a small box. I'll show you a picture here, and very easy to use, not complicated. You can plug in your microphone XLRs. You can plug in your guitars via your main cable, and then on top of that, you can connect it to your speakers as well. And I think that's pretty cool for how small it is. It just has so many capabilities. So definitely recommend that. It's small, it fits in your book bag, and most importantly, it's affordable. Okay. So another thing I do recommend too, especially if you're recording yourself or somebody else is recording you as well, is getting a headphone amplifier. It's very inexpensive. Basically what it allows you to do, you can connect it to your audio interface, and what that does is it just gives you more channels to plug in more headphones, so everybody can listen in to what you're recording in real time. So definitely a must, and yeah, I think you would enjoy that as well. Next thing, okay, what I recommend when you're first building your home studio setup is making sure you pick a place in the room that that doesn't have so much reflection. And what I mean by reflection is I'm referring to like the echoes and the reverb, the natural reverb that comes within the room when it's not acoustically treated. Definitely, I would say, if you can, once you enter a room, try to find the center of the room and go directly, sort of towards the end, but not directly on the end of the room. But make sure it's centered. And then this way you have, you're up against the wall, then you have the sounds. They're still gonna bounce back and forth, and of course you got to be aware of that when you're mixing, or else it will throw off your mix. You might think that you heard something, and then it just ends up being something that you didn't want to happen. So definitely recommend picking a beautiful place in the room where you can definitely do that, and make sure it's in the center. Definitely in the center. Acoustic treatment. Acoustic treatment is absolutely a must, because what it does is it basically eliminates the reflections in the room. So what I mean by that is this. If you get these panels, they're called absorption panels. They're very inexpensive. Like, let's say roughly, you can spend anywhere from $15 to $20, and you can get a bunch of them for a really good price. And then you can just start placing these little panels in the areas where you're recording, because then it makes the room more dry. And you definitely want that. That way, when you are mixing your song or you're putting together a demo, and you just want to make sure that you're able to do it clearly and the sound is really on point. So definitely keep that aware, or be aware of that. Can't talk today. And it should be easy from that point on. Yes, microphones. Microphones are extremely important. Obviously, you need a good microphone to record. It really comes down to budget, but it's easy for me to say to get the cheapest mic, that way you can get the job done. But for me, that doesn't make so much sense, because then you're kind of compromising the quality that can come out of the recording. So definitely, if I were you, I would pick something within the middle that's not too expensive, and at the same time not so cheap as well. So the microphone that I'm personally using is it's an MK4 Sennheiser. Beautiful for my voice. It's a condenser microphone. It really captures my voice and really just sounds beautiful when the final product is done. Here, take a listen to how it sounds on my voice now.
When I say I love you, I don't wanna change the person you are. I just can't wanna give you the meaning. Let's build a life of endless fun. I love it when we're talking, baby. It's so natural when you're in my life, darling. I don't wanna play those games you lived before. Just wanna love you better than you did before, yeah.
So, what did you think? Did it sound okay to you? For me, I think it really complements my tone and my voice. But of course, every voice is different. Point is, the Sennheiser MK4 for me has just worked wonders. It really just showcases my vocal ability. And so this is why it's been my best friend for the past 6 years, and it still hasn't broken down. That's another thing. Quality microphones last very long time. Yeah, so definitely keep that in mind. Unfortunately, if you don't have 350 euros or $350, because I'm living in Germany at the moment, to just spend on a microphone, definitely, if there was a second alternative that I would choose regarding that, would be the Iuna mic. It's a condenser mic as well, and it's a more on the cheaper end, more so like 80 to 100 bucks roughly is the price range you're gonna spend. But if you're just starting out and you just really just primarily want to just record the ideas in the beginning and then eventually upgrade yourself, then that's definitely sound like an option. But definitely do yourself a favor and don't compromise the quality of the recording over the price, because that really tends to be a factor in many situations, in a lot of creative situations. So definitely be mindful of that, okay? The headphones are really would tell you everything. Like when you're recording something, let's say if you're mixing in, you're mixing in your room, or you're mixing late at night, and you're in your house because you're at a home studio, right? So you have to make sure you're not disturbing the neighbors or anything like that. Pick headphones that don't lie to you, that are not too bassy. Also, that really just tell you the truth and not what you want to hear. Because obviously what we want to hear is something that's beautiful, but at the same time, you need to make sure you're hearing exactly what it is that you're recording. That way it doesn't hurt your mix in the long run. And so with that being said, I do recommend, if I can recommend any headphone options, it would be between AKGs and again, Sennheiser headphones. Me preferably, I loved the Sennheiser headphones, and I love AKG as well. I use them as well sometimes. But I absolutely love the Sennheiser headphones because I feel like they literally block the sound completely out. And I feel like I was literally in the song, just listening to it in detail, and it was just something that I felt really like, when the mix was done, I felt really good about it. And then I ran through my final mix test, which is basically, I'll say that for another video, playing it in the car and then playing it on your phone. That's usually what passed the test, but I'll get more into that in a different video. So Sennheisers are not so expensive, just maybe 50 to 100 bucks. Get ready to spend on these things for a good set of headphones. It's just absolutely worth it, guys. I wouldn't tell you if I didn't believe in it or if I wasn't using it myself. So to each his own. Either AKGs or the Sennheiser. I recommend the Sennheiser. All right, so last and final one. You're recording in your house, right? And let's say, for example, you don't have full acoustic treatment in your house, right? Obviously, there's plenty of alternatives to that. And what I recommend doing is using what's called it's a windscreen, sort of like voice guard. So basically what that means is you have the microphone. I'll show you the picture here in a second. You have a microphone, and then you have a box it's insulated, and it kind of covers the microphone and makes it very dry within those areas. Which I think is pretty clever, because if you're in a room that isn't acoustic treated, the sound is literally bouncing in within that guard of insulation. So kind of, it seems like you're recording in a booth. And I think that's a really, really, really cool thing to have. I have one as well. And it's done wonders for me. And the quality of my recordings have not been compromised on any level. And so, for this, you're spending roughly 40 to up to $150 for a solid one that will last you a long time. So yeah, guys, that's the 8 must-haves to kick off your home studio, successfully and on a budget. And so with that being said, guys, I hope you learned something today. I hope I was able to give value to this video. Again, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to press the subscribe button. Now you can be notified every single time I upload a new video and a new song. Okay, guys, thank you for watching, and look out for the next video. Peace out.